Let's hope they don't lose us again.
Hey, Jackie.
Welcome, welcome, everyone. Well, the world seems
You've
a
got the
little
screen
different
covered,
today,
Jackie.
doesn't it?
You've covered the
But
screen,
it's so
Jackie.
nice
We
to
can't see.
gather in the company of friends in this wonderful place
Only
with
Jackie.
food and friendship. We just have so much to be grateful for. It's my pleasure today to be your Sergeant at Arms, and I'm very happy to say that we welcome about 20 members, and we have 2 guests, and we have 5 people joining us on Zoom.
Jackie, you've got the screen covered. Oh, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay.
There you
Okay.
go.
Thank you. New to this. I'll get accustomed to it. All right. I'd like to ask Ismet to come forward with a reflection.
Thank you, Jackie. Welcome today. I'm so excited and happy to be with you, and I want to do my reflection for today. Once Rumi said, be a lamp or a lifeboat or a ladder. Help someone's soul heal. Walk out of your house and like a shepherd. These words remind us that in every moment, we have the power to be a light in someone's life, a steady hand in troubled times, or a guide on the path to hope. Each day presents us with a choice of embodied kindness and compassion, to lift others up and to lead with a spirit of service. Rumi teaches us that only from the heart can you touch the sky, encouraging us to serve others with genuine love. In our own ways, we can each be a source of comfort, a refuge, or a guide for those around us. As we gather here, let us carry forward this wisdom. Wherever you are and whatever you do, be in love. Together, may we nurture the light within us, so we may brighten the world around us. Yeah, this is so precious, so I wanted to share it with us as a spirit of brothers.
Just how appropriate is that for today's meeting? Thank you very much, Ismet. I just want to mention our guests. We're very pleased to have the Reverend Lord Conrad Donald Hall with us, who's a member of the an E Club in Toronto. Welcome, and welcome back, Joseph Marquez. How nice to see Joseph again, who was a member of our club for many years. So nice to see you again, and hope that it's not the first time. It's not the last time, rather. Okay, now I'm about to start Happy Bucks, and I want to warn you that there can be no sadness. You can't ask for your Happy Bucks back today. So, Lisa, would you help us with Happy Bucks? Who's happy? All right, Maria.
Oh, do you want me? Oh, you talk. I'm talking with my pastoral voice. This is a very important day for Swedish people and in Germany, actually. Why? It's because of a war, 1632. Lars know exactly what I'm talking about now. In 1632, we are down in Germany, in Luxembourg. And it is this big war that has been ravaging Europe for years. It is the 30 Years' War, it will be called afterwards. And one of the combatants is the Swedish king, the lion from the north, Gustav Adolf. And he's there and he's leading his troops. And it is spoken in Henriksson. And he gets away from the Swedish people. And he gets killed today, the 6th of November, 1632. And that is a day that we commemorate in Sweden a little bit, but more of in Germany. So today in Lützen, I can tell you exactly what's happening. At 11 o'clock this morning, there was a small memorial service in the church that is closest to the battlefield, and where you still can see this piece of wood where the king died. And at 1 o'clock, there will be a reception by the major in Lützen, where we will have speeches, and my colleague, who is the pastor of the Swedish church in Germany, will have one of the speeches. And then it will be a service in another church at 2 o'clock. And the most important of all, and trust me, that has been like this since 1801. They will have the coffee break, Swedish fika, the Lützen version, at 5 o'clock at this big hall. And all the ladies in Lützen had baked cookies to this big fika event. And trust me, all of them are checking out the Swedish pastor to see which cookie do they eat. Been there, done that. And I think that is such a happy, wonderful way of commemorating a history and building new history at the same time.
A wonderful story, Maria. Perhaps we should copy some of these customs. Yes, next year we'll all be baking. Is there anybody else who's happy? All right, Tom.
I'm happy that I'm a Canadian and I live in this country. I will not allow depression to take over, but it constantly surprises me how stupid people can be. But I'm happy I'm here, and thanks for being my friends.
Ismet?
I'm so happy to be here with you today as a friend to share you with the quotation and my feelings about love and compassion. And at the same time, I'm happy that me and my husband got our G driving license because it was a huge condition. So I managed, and I'm so happy, and I want to share with you today.
We're very happy for you. Okay, I think it was Anna.
So more of an announcement than anything, and that is that our people, Jerry and Peter, Dr. Drapach and Jerry Evans, who might be actually selecting the Ternopil City, Ron Denham's recommendation, they're there now as we speak, looking over the prosthetics division, and letting you know, I'm sure, by our WhatsApp. We've had many meetings, Zoom meetings and so on, so today's the big day, I think. So I just wish them to be safe and get home, you know, in one piece.
Right. That's wonderful, Anna. And again, the power of Rotary. We're so fortunate to have people like Ron and Lars who are just connected internationally. Anything you need in the Rotary world, one of those folks can make a connection. Again, the power of this of Rotary. Ron, you were happy.
And I am very happy that the incessant noise and debate on TV for the last 6 months will hopefully finish.
Amen. Amen. Okay. Is there anyone else who would like to speak? Okay. Seeing none, we'll thank you very much, Lisa. You can add that to our treasury, and we will move on to introduce the speaker. Now, our speaker today really doesn't need an introduction, but I love telling tales. By the way, this is recorded, right? Right. So I'll have to be a little, have to censor myself a little bit. Okay. Lars is originally from Sweden, if you didn't know already. He came to Canada in 1978 to attend the University of Alberta. before moving to Toronto in 82 to work for the Swedish Trade Commission. He later became the honorary consul for the Consulate of Sweden in Toronto. Today, as president and owner of Norra he assists Scandinavian companies and organizations with entering the Canadian market. As president of Rotary Toronto Eglinton during the 1998-99 term, Lars is really living proof that being president of Toronto Eglinton is really better the second time around, because he's the nominal president of our club this year. Isn't that right, David? Second time around, David? Maybe I'm, okay. All right. Anyway, we're very happy that Lars has taken the presidency again. Between 2022 and 24, he served as the district endowment of major gifts at District 7070. So we're with that background, Lars is a perfect person to speak to us about the Rotary Foundation, which we have benefited from so much. Remember, we relied on the Rotary Foundation to finance our 3 global grants in Kenya, totaling $850,000. Again, Joe Clark used the funds in Uganda, and we're hoping that we will be able to support the Ukrainian people in future with Anna's work. With that, I also wanted to say, of late, Lars, Toronto Eglinton organized exchanges with Irkutsk, Siberia, with teachers and students from the University of Irkutsk, and Lars was very active in hosting them, and we had wonderful parties. I also just want to put something out to the fundraising people here. Lars was famous for hosting his private dinners, where he was the cook, wonderful Swedish food, and aquavit for our fundraisers. So don't forget the next fundraiser to hit up Lars to donate a dinner for 10 or 12 or whatever. With that, I'd like to welcome Lars to the podium.
Thank you, Jackie. The last part there about the Swedish chef actually gives me an opportunity to bring up as an idea or reinvent an idea that we used to have, and that was the home hospitality, which was part of that. And we organized, I think you, Walter Wells, was the coordinator of many of these to get hosts and guests, and it was actually a good way of getting to know members and families, and in some instances getting also to raise some funds, but we can play that. And we also used to do something else, which we had, and that was the Night of 1,000 Dinners, which was for the Landmines Foundation to raise funds for clearing landmines, and that again I know is something that some clubs in the district are looking into to have in the spring. Anyway, and the third thing that hit me, which we may show for based on both David and I should have had before the second term, and that is some of the more
We lost Rotary Toronto Eglinton. Ron, we lost the computer. Can't hear Lars. Okay.
A much more open person, and I've actually tried it myself, and obviously it seems that I have to do it again. So the first slide, oh, there we are. And what button? What button?
You just say next and David will do it.
Oh, David will, okay. So the foundation, the Rotary Foundation. So next slide, David. Number of terms, abbreviations, and so on and so forth, like any other part of Rotary. So benefactor, World Fund, Paul Harris Award, Annual Fund, Matching Grants, Host Partner, Endowment Fund, Global Grants, EY, TRF, Donate, District Grants, Polio Plus, Chair, Cadre, Archcamp Society, and I can't even remember what it says there, and demanding grants. That's just a few of the terms and names and abbreviations we have. So next slide. We will try to bring some order. And of course, it is impossible to, in what was supposed to be 15 minutes, now down to 10 minutes, give a presentation of the Rotary Foundation. But at least it will be a little appetizer, and hopefully you will go to the Rotary website and get more information and actively participate. It all began in 1917 with $26.50, and the money came from the surplus of the Rotary International Convention that year. It was an idea by the president at that time, Archcamp, who suggested that Rotary should have establish a fund to do good in the world. So the mission statement is to help Rotary members to advance world understanding, goodwill, and peace by improving health, providing quality education, improving the environment, and alleviating poverty. So that is what we have. And just some key years in the history of Rotary. So 1917, Rotary Foundation. Early in 1930, a donation of $500 to the International Society for the Crippled Children, which is really for polio, showed that already then Rotary got interested and supported polio, and of course polio is now, end polio is our signature product. In 1947, Paul Harris, is the founder of Rotary, passed away, and $1.3 million were collected in his memory. And the Paul Harris Award, and this shows really how useless I am. But this is what we used to get. I don't think you get that anymore when you get your Paul Harris. It used to be this plus a pin, and now it's just a pin. And maybe it's still possible to buy the medal. But anyway, I haven't been able to open it. I was going to try to put it on here, but that doesn't work. So anyway, the Paul Harris Awards program was established in 1957, and that is one way of many to recognize donations to the foundation. The matching grants program, and that term still exists, even though it doesn't, was introduced in 1963, and it is basically the what today is the future vision or the grants and program that we have. Polio Plus in 1985. We hoped at that time, I think those of us who were members of Rotary at that time, that we would have solved all the problems and eradicated polio. We haven't, but at that time, if we see what has happened, though, I think we can still say that it is a success. At that time, there were over 1,000 cases of polio every day in 120 or so countries around the world, and we are down now to 2 countries, Pakistan and Afghanistan. The last year or this year has been, unfortunately, a little bit of an uptake, but it just shows that we must finish the whole eradication of polio, and it will take more time than we had expected. 2007, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation contributed for the first time to match the funds that Rotarians raised with $100 million US, and they are still every year they participate and donate. And Rotary has to come up with currently 50 million a year minimum, and the Gates Foundation will send double the amount. And in 2013, the current system of the district grants came about with the global grants and the district grants and so on and so forth that we have participated in. Our district was actually one of the 100 pilot districts in the world that already 2010 tried out the system. And if we look at this 100 years of Rotary Foundation, Rotary has raised over $4 billion. So that is quite something. Okay, David, next. So some of the programs that the foundation has is the Polio Plus, which is, polio-free world. And I basically mentioned most of the things there. Rotarians have raised about a little bit more than $2 billion US for the polio eradication. But an important part, in addition to that, is the role that Rotary clubs and Rotarians have played in convincing governments to support the system. And we in our district are very fortunate to have people like Bob Scott and Wilkinson, who over the years have knocked on doors in Ottawa for the federal government, and regardless of political color, the Canadian government has been one of the most significant governments in the world to donate to polio. Peace centers, there are 130 fellowships each year. There are 2 types of programs: a master program and a certificate program. and there are 7 academic institutions around the world. District grants, and the process there is that clubs apply to their districts for that, and the district put together one application to the Rotary Foundation every year. And then that is approved, and then the money comes from the annual fund of the foundation to the district, and the district is distributes. There were 485 of the 540 districts that took advantage last year of district grant program for a total of $30 million. Global grants, 1,287 last year. Rotary year for about $72 million. District response grant is a special grant that is available for district governors of districts that have been affected by earthquakes or flooding or national catastrophes. For last year, the last couple of years, a lot of these have been actually for Ukraine. There have been a special disaster response fund for Ukraine. And then there is one project every year now of projects of scale, and it's $2 million that is gone to that. And if I recall correctly, the current one, which is a project of a total $6 million, that goes for malaria. Rotary's areas of focus, 7, after the environment came as the 7th one in a few years ago. So they are water and sanitation and hygiene, which Ron is very active in that area. There is one about material and child health. There is one disease prevention and treatment. There is peacemaking. There is, as I said, the environment. There is community economic growth or development. And there is one about literature and basic education. And many projects can go in more than one of these. If you take, for instance, a water project, will most likely be also community development, and it may also be disease prevention as well. So what's the difference between the two, the global grants and district grants? Well, the global grant is supposed to be long-term, bolder, bigger projects, long-term sustainable solutions. And those grants are administered by the Rotary Foundation. So you make the application to the Rotary Foundation on the Rotary website. For a global grant, there must be one host partner, that can be a club or a district, in the area where the project takes place. And then there must be an international partner. And that again can be a club or a district. And it can be crossed as well. So a club can partner with a district. And then in addition to that, of course, there are supporting clubs, which I guess Anna and Neelam and Norma and Jackie and others have noticed on the projects to try to raise funds from supporting clubs anywhere in the Rotary world. And the application can be made any time of the year. And there is also, well, the project must be in one of the focus areas, and there is a budget requirement too. The budget must be at least $30,000 US. And that amount is the same as it was in 2010. And I'm a little surprised that it hasn't been changed because, of course, 30,000 today is not what 30,000 was 15 years ago. If we, and examples are humanitarian grants that we have in like the one that Anna is working on in Ukraine, or what we have done in Africa and Kenya and so on. But it can also be VTT, which is stands for vocational training teams, and that is a group of non-Rotarians that with a Rotary leader go to another country to study something during a week or two, and so on. We actually hosted one group many years ago from Mozambique that came here, and there were people from us that went to Mozambique and Zimbabwe and so on and so forth. And then we have the graduate scholarship as well, that some of you have, I think, met the Australian doctor that studied at the General Hospital in University Avenue. Is back in Australia now, but that is a typical thing. And we have one such scholarship every year, and very often they come to London. But we actually was the Rotary contact with the lady who went to Paris and studied health economics. District grants are supposed to be small projects, short term, for either locally or international. We were just talking at the table here, the project that we have, the projects, I would say, from Nadine in Scarborough Club, who every year, for many years, have had a project, a district grant in Egypt, and we put in $1,000 or so. But it can also be local. So, for instance, at the seminar that we have in 2 weeks at the 16th of November about the foundation, we will have a presentation from the Club of Wellington, a project that they did this year, and that is to make the Rotary Beach in Wellington accessible for everyone, not just people, so they can handle wheelchairs and so on and so forth in construction. The application is done to the district, and then the district put together application based on the projects that have come in, and we send that to Rotary Foundation, and Rotary Foundation comes back and says, oh, this is okay. Touch wood. So far, every year we have been yeah. That is probably, so we can take the next slide, please. So what can, and this is not a complete list, what can or can't be funded by the global grant? There is material on the Rotary website with the terms and conditions, and anyone interested in or thinking of applying for either a district grant or a global grant is really encouraged to download that material. But it can be used for toilet blocks, sanitation systems, access roads, water, irrigation systems, hospital equipment. Some may remember that we supported a project out of the Whitby Sunrise Club, I think it was, about the hospital in Beirut. Desks, equipment in schools, and much. Equipment into the school.
Ron, we lost you again. Ron, we lost.
Probably the most significant. The second thing that also is very important to remember is the fact that we can use funds for something that has already happened.
And this is somewhat frustrating sometimes. Until the foundation has approved the project, you can't really start working on it. You can, of course, plan, but you can't work. See now if I can remember what the borrowing thing was. Well, what happens is when it comes to the funding. So nothing we talked here about how you can sort of spend the money, but in order to be able to spend something, money must come in, and that is donation. So it is crucial that we donate money to the Rotary Foundation. And you would imagine that, as it says, E-R-E-Y, every Rotary every year. That isn't the case. E-R-E-Y.
It looks as though we didn't plug the laptop in, so it died.
Is an attempt to get every Rotarian to donate something every year. It doesn't have to be $100. Because not everyone may be able to do that, and some may be able to do more. But we encourage people to donate, and roughly 1/3 of Rotary members worldwide donate to the foundation. If we look at the polio fund, which is one of the funds, it is less than 10%. And this we need to do. We used to have a fantastic director over the Patrick, who was responsible for fundraising. And Bill passed away a few years ago. Unfortunately, the last year when we tried to celebrate him, we had slogan or the goal, a million were built, a million in our district were built. If we do various funds, so there is the annual fund, there is the political fund, there is the endowment fund. Those are the three key funds. Then there are the disaster, the relief fund, and you can also donate to the various projects, but the absolute majority goes to these three that I mentioned. Annual part is the default setting. So if you go in click on the donate button on the website, you will get on the screen with all these funds, but the annual fund is set as the you can change to the total plus or to the endowment or the others as well. The money that goes into the annual fund is invested for 3 years. And after 3 years, they are split for each district. Each district has basically an account at the annual fund. And on the 1st of July, every little over a year, it is split. So first they take out 5% that goes for administration of the foundation. It's something that came up 2 years ago, used to be everything. But the other 95%, they are split in 2 equal parts. And one part goes to what is called the rural fund. And the other 47.5% goes to the district. SDDF, District Designated Fund. And that is what we are using the district grants. That is what we are using when we match match contributions to global grants. And that is what we use when we put together the scholarship for the student going to grant or for the granting program. We can also, and we do that, give a certain amount of this money to the total cost. And if you give 20% of the money that comes in every year, you get Gold Star. And that we have some policy in the district that we do that, just again to honor the work of Dr. Paul and others. So this year, the 1st of July, we got about 120,000 US dollars to the district as district designated fund. And that was based on the donations in the 21-22 Rotary. And we now have just got the confirmation that our application for district grants in the project has been accepted and the money came in the other day. And actually, we did well on the exchange rate because we, when it comes to the district grants, pay in Canadian dollars for the application for in the Canadian dollars. So when we made the application, which is in the US dollar, compared to the project gained $300,000 Canadian. It may come back and hurt us later if we don't spend it on. But anyway, so if we then again look at the project that Anna is working on, based on the amount of money that clubs in our district come up and support that club, including ourselves, we will match that with DDF. Exactly how much is a little hard to say. We have a statement that says that we may match dollar for dollar up to 5,000 US dollars per project in club. I don't think we will do that with any project this year because we have less money, which is a result of the fact that during COVID, the fundraising, like so many other things, so. And but there will be, if let's say that we manage to raise 25 from clubs in our district, I would say that somewhere around 13 to 15,000 US DDF will be added from our district. And then hopefully, when clubs in other districts contribute, you ask them to go to their counterpart of the league and say, you know, we are supporting this project in Ukraine with the Toronto Edmonton Cup, and can we contribute some DDF? Because DDF is really gold these days. That is the only thing that the Rotary Foundation is about. Used to be that it also matched top match, but it doesn't do that since 3-4 years. So what the more DDF project has, the bigger amount will come from the Rotary Foundation's World Fund. The World Fund, as I say, consists of the second half of each district, so 540 districts, and what that is. So that is what we've been used to. And so and it's always 80. It's only 80% that is being matched by the Rotary Foundation or the TBF. So,
Lars, where does the Toronto, our own foundation, fit into this whole landscape of foundations?
Well, it doesn't really fit in with the Rotary Foundation. It's a confusion I get sometimes, you know. But money from the foundation, donation to the foundation, can be put into projects, and Jack would be better than me.
Okay.
So anyway, I think I'm coming to the end of the slideshow. The final one, if I recall correctly,
yep,
is basically showing the result rating from Navigator. It's an organization that evaluates foundations. It's not the Navigator that is the lowest in Canada. And Rotary has 4 stars. The top rating and it has had that for 15 years in a row. So the Rotary Foundation is something that we should support, we should work with, and we should be very proud of. So thank you.
Speaker.
Thank you very much, Lars. I wasn't given a big envelope with cash to give you, so my words will have to be thank you. So just as a newer member of Rotary, just having a little bit of clarification on what the foundation does is very, very helpful. Because I've only been a member for a little over a year now, so I'm sure it's the same for all the other newer members. That just a little bit of clarification on what the fund does and what the foundation does, and just the fact that over the years it's been $4 billion of money's been given away to good protests. So that's excellent, excellent work. So thanks very much, Larry. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Just a little summary here. Why did we have Lars as speaker today? Because November is Foundation Month, and we wanted to ask you to help us. And how can you do that? Lars mentioned Captain Rotarian every year, or ERUI. At Toronto Eglinton, we call that your birthday money. Your birthday money. We ask you to give us a donation on your birthday. And where can you give it? You can give it to our local foundation, the Rotary Club of Toronto Eglinton Foundation. And the good news there is that we have automatic deposits. So we've had a little bit of difficulty in accepting your money, but hopefully we've got it straightened out. So that's Rotary TE Foundation. Again, Rotary TE Foundation. Not to be confused with who you pay your dues to, which is Lisa. Okay, thank you very much. Just a little bit of business before I turn it over to Lars. You'll notice on your way in that you were asked by the receptionist at the desk sign in. That's a new policy here. It's just really safety. They have to know who's in the building. So please sign in at the desk for lunch. Secondly, the foundation, your own foundation, has a motion for you to consider. And I'd like to ask a champion, Norman Davis, to come up and speak to the motion.
I think not, I speak quite loudly. I think I can speak loud enough that everybody can be clear.
No, but give her the mic, yeah. Come on.
I think all of you have read about this motion that I'm going to ask you to approve. So an email was sent out last week giving you the background information on safety history and ourselves, and an explanation of the workshop that we're seeking to support. It's an organization that was brought to us by Tibor's daughter, Anne. So we feel pretty good about it. We like the project and feel it's just what needed at this time and something that will honor Tibor's legacy. I'd like to ask you for your support for a donation of $15,766 to Safety History and Ourselves from the Tibor's Gregor Fund to launch a pilot workshop for 40 teachers in Toronto. The workshop will help prepare educators to use safety history's framework for fostering civil discourse to create spaces for dialogue that's encouraged and to drive respectful dialogue on complex and potentially polarizing topics. And I just think that this fund is a real good for our fund. So I'd like to ask for approval for that donation. Everybody in favor? Great. Anybody not in favor? Thank you very much.
If you need an official second there, I'll help them.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you very much, Norma. And if you fill out the form, we'll get the check. As soon as that Bill Mosquito gets back from playing golf in Palm Beach, we'll get a check to them. And for those who are new, just a reminder, Tibor Gregor
was a long-standing member of our club. He had about 50 years of perfect attendance, 50 years of perfect attendance. And this club has a Tibor Greger Attendance Award, and if Walter could ever find the plaque in his basement, we'll show you the plaque because it's got Tibor's pipe on it. And remember, we recently received $140,000 from his estate. So this 17 that you've just approved is a fraction of it, and we've got it well invested. We're making about $400 a month. So you're helping teachers become like marriage counselors. Imagine walking into a classroom as a teacher today, and you've got Trump supporters and you've got her supporters. How does a teacher keep from bedlam breaking out? Well, they're going to get this training. So thank you very much. Is there any report from any of the committees? Any committee business? Okay, with that, I'll turn it over to Lars. President Lars.
Thank you, Jackie, and thank you for receiving that role and starting that out. I think the setup has worked quite well for the last couple of months here. And I don't have much to do, but I'm Maria, Pastor Maria, so that on my presentation about the game. The thing I would like to add, which is that in 1854, for the first time in Boston, was particularly supportive of historical values. He founded the Church of the City. They introduced the historical values feast, and it was a tradition. And it was like the Oregon to read, which I have frequented many times, not since 1854. So it's a great. And the interesting thing with the historical pastry, which I didn't really know, they can be more or less any kind of pastry. They have to have a picture or of the kid, his health, somewhat from the pastry. Anyway, Canadian is actually the first official Thanksgiving Day in Canada. Happened 1872. I know I remember I was not there. But anyway, one thing a little bit more serious is we are coming up to a window in January when we can add members to our bingo team. You may or may not know there's an online training. And during January, they accept new names on our list. So if anyone is interested, please let me know, and I'll provide you with the link and so on and so forth. Finally, building up to what I think this Jackie started. It happens to be today, and it is actually here. Today is a National Stress Awareness. And it's also a lot of interesting things. It's a National Nacho Day. At the same time, it's the Eating Healthy Day. And May, our little dog reminded me that the Russian, that is the most meat in order. It is the Dog Film Festival Day. And Bill Clinton called me and said, Lars, don't forget to mention it. It's the National Saxophone Day. Thank you.
If we take the
word by word. It's not is small or little. And what is good, but in English you would probably say this and that, or something like that. Or important. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lars. If there is nothing longer.
Yes, okay, I can speak just from my volume here. Next week is our first out of the cold commitment. We're committed to every 2 weeks. Basically, it's team 2 and 4 in terms of the church, Yorkminster Park Baptist Church. So I will be, I got about 10 people now that have talked to me that want to participate. I will be calling and finding out who's available. We've committed to putting 5 Rotarians at each event to help. There's 12 people in all that help at each occurrence, and of that, we've committed to providing 5 Rotarians. Myself and Mike Moy are the two of the team leaders. So I will be calling people, but if anybody is interested in participating in the Out of the Cold, please contact me and I'll put you on my call list. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Walter. Norman. Just very rarely, you have to keep asking here. But normally post pictures of these folks not serving clothes were amazing. They just we should try to get them out. So you just have to ask Mike again and again.
Yeah, like we did food bank delivery. Sandwich delivery to the Good Shepherd this week. So you know, and I said this over to this one.
Lars?
Well, you bring up, there is this form, the van of the public chair.
Social media chair. Yeah.
So if anyone would like to try, please jump on.
Anybody can do an Instagram post? Wonderful. Wow. You've just got yourself on the board. Terrific. Fantastic. Is there any other news? By the way, Tom Knott has a youth committee meeting afterwards. So if there isn't any, and in 2 weeks, we have Maria Van Austin is going to do her convocation speech. So we'll come to see you all back here for that. And if there's anything else, we'll do a Rotary. I declare the meeting. Thank you.